Today, a sobering look at a growing public health emergency. New analysis shows suicide is claiming more Gen Z lives than the generation before, and the sharpest rise among Black and Hispanic men. Let's take a closer look. According to a Stateline analysis of federal death data, suicide rates among Gen Z adults ages 18 to 27 are higher than when millennials were the same age. A staggering 85% of the increase comes from Black and Hispanic men, particularly in the South and Midwest. For families like that of Jessie Edmond, the pain is personal and lasting. Her son Julian Wolf Rivera died by suicide at just 27 after struggling with depression and barriers to mental health care. The story is heartbreakingly familiar and tragically common. Georgia leads the nation with a 70% increase in suicides among young adults. North Carolina, Texas, Alabama, and Ohio also show alarming jumps. Experts say the causes are complex and from things like untreated depression and cultural stigma around seeking help to the impact of social media, oh brother, I think that's a big one, and economic stress. In North Carolina, Dr. Rodney Harris and local barbers like Reggie Winston are reaching out to young men in places where they feel safe, barbershops, churches, and community centers, to talk openly about mental health. There's a perception that you're supposed to be strong, Harris says, but that can keep people from getting treatment. But just as the need grows, mental health programs are facing new challenges. Federal funding for crisis teams and treatment programs have been slashed by tens of millions of dollars under the Department of Government Efficiency. And in July, the federal LGBTQ plus suicide helpline for youth under 25 was shut down. For many communities, that loss could be devastating. The crisis cuts across all races and backgrounds. Among young Asians, suicide has become the leading cause of death, surpassing accidents. For young Hispanics, it's now the second, behind only unintentional injuries. Meanwhile, suicide rates for young Black adults have now surpassed those of young white adults, a reversal from a decade ago. Psychologists say one major factor may be digital life. Gen Z is the first generation to grow up entirely with smartphones and social media. Dr. Gene Twenge of San Diego State University calls this the anxious generation, where constant online comparison, bullying, and isolation fuel desperation, depression, and despair. NYU researcher Jonathan Haidt adds that today's youth were overprotected in the real world. Those helicopter parents, maybe? But underprotected online. Absolutely. That imbalance, he says, left many unprepared for the pressures they face as adults. For families mourning loved ones, for the young people struggling right now, there is help. If you or someone you know is in crisis, please reach out to the National Suicide Crisis Lifeline by calling or texting 988. You can also chat online at 988lifeline.org. You're not alone. And I put those numbers here in the slide too. Really important. Reach out. Hey, tomorrow on UroNurse, a groundbreaking update in bladder cancer care. We're talking about the changing paradigm for first-line therapy for locally advanced metastatic urothelial carcinoma, as well as muscle-invasive bladder cancer. New clinical data, new treatment combinations, and new hope for patients. From immune checkpoint inhibitors to antibody drug conjugates, the future of bladder cancer therapy is here, and is changing fast. This episode also qualifies for one contact hour credit. So if you're a urology nurse, advanced practice provider, or oncology professional, you don't want to miss it tomorrow at 9 a.m. on UroNurse.com. I'm Vic Senese. Thanks for watching UroNurse News, and don't forget to like and subscribe. See you for more stories next week.
UroNurse News, we've got the scoop, helping you stay in the healthcare loop. From Monday to Friday, we bring the view. UroNurse News.